What's up, Guardians, and welcome back, Warlocks. I'm Profane, thanks for checking out the video. With an entirely new armor system, Bungie has really pushed players towards trying new builds, and today we're going to be checking out one of the most underrated Warlock builds here in Edge of Fate. Our new artifact promotes running strand and solar-oriented builds above anything else, but today we're going to be taking a step in a different direction, and we'll be looking into the Void subclass, where we've got some powerful abilities that we can utilize that will see us spamming overpowered grenades that'll keep our enemies weakened, leading to us dealing tons of extra damage and having our Nova Bomb energy back lightning fast. We'll be revolving this build around the use of the Contraverse Hold, a unique set of exotic gauntlets that provides us with a few key benefits. This requires the use of vortex grenades and the chaos accelerant aspect. Chaos accelerant lets us hold up and charge our grenade, which will increase the radius, the damage, and duration of a vortex grenade. Whenever we charge up a vortex grenade, we will gain a 20% bonus in damage resistance, which does help since we're rather defenseless when those grenades are charging. It would be nice to see this damage resistance get increased, or maybe even for it to linger after we've thrown a grenade. But once we've dealt out damage with our grenade, we'll receive a 2-second buff that grants us with a 2000% bonus in the regeneration rate of our grenade. This does incur a 4-second cooldown between activation. It'd be nice if that could be reduced to around 2 seconds, or maybe not even have a cooldown at all. But if an enemy is hit by the initial burst of a vortex grenade, along with the final burst, then this benefit will get triggered twice, but that's only going to happen with tankier enemies. Even though it's only a 2-second buff, this will contribute to a substantial uptick in our ability regen. And with other key components of this build, we'll be tossing supercharged grenades out all over the place. We are pairing Chaos Accelerant with Feed the Void, and that's going to trigger Devour as we get Void ability kills. Once Devour is active, we'll gain health regen off of every final blow, and as we defeat enemies, we'll gain bonus grenade energy. This will be based on the difficulty level of the combatant, with rank and file enemies providing 15%, but champion and boss level enemies granting 40% bonus energy. So when we add that into the 2000% bonus that our exotic provides, we're going to be rolling deep in grenade energy, and we're nowhere near done amplifying that ability. When it comes to our choice in fragments, we want to have Echo of Undermining equipped. This will give our grenades the ability to apply a 15% debuff, increasing the damage from any source for 8 seconds. Echo of Remnants will play into the use of our vortex grenades, and it's going to extend their duration by 55%, which will lead to us weakening more enemies and dealing out more damage. Echo of Harvest will generate orbs of power whenever we defeat weakened enemies, and that's going to be beneficial for us on several fronts. Orbs provide super energy, and they grant a small amount of HP based on your health stat. They can also trigger armor mods like Recuperation, which would give us a secondary source of health regen, or Innervation, which would give us even more grenade energy. Orbs can also trigger weapon surges and armor fonts, so there's going to be a lot of benefits in keeping Echo of Harvest equipped. And the final fragment that we've got is Echo of Reprisal, and this generates bonus super energy as we defeat enemies whenever we're surrounded. So now we're going to be able to use our Nova Bomb much more frequently, which means we don't have to always hold on to it. And we could extend on that benefit even further by running the Ashes to Assets helmet mod, which would give us extra super energy whenever defeating enemies with our grenades. We also have the option of using the Bad Juju kinetic pulse rifle. Pulse rifles are able to handle barrier champions right now, and this would give us super energy as we defeat enemies. The Bad Juju's intrinsic trait provides a stacking bonus to this benefit, so as String of Curses grows in strength, so will the amount of super energy that we get back. We could also recharge our super energy with legendary weapons that come with Thresh. To get the maximum benefit of this exotic and this build, we will need to focus our armor towards our grenade stat above anything else, which means most of our armor should be Grenadier, which guarantees grenades as the main stat and super as the secondary. We could also mix in some gunner armor, which features grenades as the secondary stat and weapons as the main, but we're not overly fixated on our weapon stat with this build. If we could push our grenade stat beyond 110 points, we would see a 190% bonus given to any source of grenade regen, and with our grenade stat at 200, we would give our grenades a 65% bonus in damage, which would directly improve the performance of the Contraverse Hold. If you are struggling to get your grenade stat high enough, then I would recommend running a few grenade font armor mods. With one mod equipped, you'll get a 20-point bump in your grenade stat, and 2 mods would provide 40 points, with 3 mods providing 50. but we would need to create orbs of power for those armor charges to stay active, which is another good reason to use Echo of Harvest. But you should also consider running armor mods like Siphon, Firepower, and Reaper. There's also weapons with the Attrition Orbs trait, which would be a great source of orbs for us. Another option that you could utilize to improve your grenade stat is to run weapons that come with the Blast Distributor trait, which would provide 10 extra stat points with each stack. Stacks are built up as you defeat enemies, and it's capable of stacking 5 times, so at its maximum threshold, this would provide 50 points towards our grenade stat, and 55 points if that's the enhanced version. We don't have a lot of artifact mods that we can really make use of, but there are a few that will really help us out. If we were to be using sidearms with this build, we could make use of Reciprocal Draw. This provides a 35% bonus in damage to primary sidearms, and a 15% bonus in damage to special sidearms, and that bonus is provided after defeating 3 enemies with a non-sidearm weapon. Sidearms gain the benefit of stunning unstoppable champs right now, and we have several strong legendary sidearms that we could go with, but the Traveler's Chosen would be a fantastic option for us in the kinetic slot. This exotic sidearm comes with Osmosis, so its energy will change to Void to match our grenade. And as we defeat enemies with this weapon, we'll build up stacks of bonus energy that will be distributed to our grenade, melee, and class abilities, providing us with as much as 100% energy to each ability. So this would be a great exotic to use for improved ability regen. Our new artifact offers one mod in particular that we would really like to reap the benefits of, and that is Shield Crush. This provides a 25% bonus in grenade regen and a 25% bonus in grenade damage whenever Radiance or Amplified is active. We would normally have no chance of either of these when on a Void build, but because of the Fever and Chill artifact mod, becoming Radiant is an option. With consecutive precision hits from any solar weapon, we'll trigger a 10-second window of Radiance, providing our weapons with a 20% bonus in damage, but more importantly, that triggers the 25% bonus grenade damage provided by Shield Crush. And with that stacking on top of the bonus that our character stats provide, we're going to be one-shotting big bad enemies with our Vortex grenades. As we look through the best options in solar weapons, we have plenty of standout exotics, but what would be even better for us is Heal Clip out of a legendary solar weapon. This provides us with Cure whenever we reload after a final blow. Giving ourselves another source of instant health regen will make it that much harder for enemies to kill us. And we could continue to cash in on the benefits of Reciprocal Draw by using solar sidearms, like the Returned Memory, Aberrant Action, or the Heliocentric, which all offer Heal Clip, as well as traits like Incandescent and Burning Ambition, which would really help us out when it comes to crowd control. There continues to be a lot of benefits in running Void weapons with this build. Exotics like the 3rd Iteration, Graviton Lance, Choir of One, or Vexcalibur would be incredible options, but there's also legendary weapons with Repulsor Brace, which would really help us out when it comes to survival, because that provides us with a Void Overshield whenever we defeat debuffed enemies. Those overshields would block out 70% of incoming damage, so if at all possible, we would love to integrate a mixture of solar and Void weapons into this build. The last thing that we'll talk about before we close out today's video is armor sets. The number of armor sets is growing, and some of them provide some great bonuses. If we were running kinetic weapons like the Bad Juju, then we would want to resource a few tech sec pieces. If we could at least get the 2-set bonus, we would give our kinetic weapons a 200% bonus against enemy shields. But then there's also the Bushido set, and with a 2-piece bonus, we would get a burst of healing whenever defeating enemies with a freshly drawn weapon. So depending on our loadout, we might want to go for a mixture of these sets. But regardless of what armor set you go with, by running the Contraverse Hold, you're getting a build that will have rapid grenade regen. Your grenades are going to weaken enemies, and they're going to deal a ton of extra damage, which will lead to quick Nova Bombs, and the complete dismemberment of any enemy that stands in your way. So if you haven't tried this hybrid version of the Contraverse Hold, then it's high time you do so, and once you've checked it out, let us know what you thought. If you need help setting up today's build, then be sure to check out my DIM and Mobalytics links, which are down in the comments below. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel, and so does being a member, so a big thank you and shout out to all of our channel members. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.